welcome along to SUTV Live. Sheffield United back in action following the international break and looking to get back to winning ways in the day's early kick-off. Lots on the way between now and kick-off at 12:30 p.m. We're going to be hearing from Blade strikers Rhian Brewster and Billy Sharp, the captain, and Slaviša Jokanović will share his pre-match thoughts ahead of us taking on Coventry City in little under an hour from now. And we should also tell you about all the broadcast regulations in place for this match and the rest of the games. You can check that by visiting sufc.co.uk. So lots to get through, and let's get things started by introducing my two studio guests today. And first of all, as ever, alongside me and also part of our commentary team, it's hello to Kevin Gage.
Hello, John.
Looking forward to seeing the team back out there again.
Yeah, always, especially after an international break, because it tends to drag, doesn't it, with no game. So yeah, looking forward to a good game of football. And
alongside Kevin, our second guest is another defender whose professional career saw him visit the likes of Barnsley, Derby County, Bradford City, and in two spells here at Sheffield United, more than 200 appearances in all. And it's good morning to Rob Kozluk.
Good morning, John.
And a question, I guess, for both of you. First of all, you just touched on it there, Kevin. After you've had a break, an enforced break like this, what sort of a difference does it make to the squad heading into action here? Obviously, burning to get back into playing and to show themselves sharp and get with it, but pressures both ways, I guess.
Yeah, especially after that defeat at Blackburn and not a very good performance. So I think all the players will be more than happy to get back on the football pitch and get going again. The international breaks are quite difficult sometimes because you get lots of players away and players get days off because there's no game. So you can't just train all the time. It's also a time for players to get over any niggly injuries and have give your body just a bit of a rest sometimes. So sometimes it's a good thing, yeah.
And Rob, a chance for the manager and the training staff to really get to grips with some of the flaws that they've seen emerging.
Yeah, I think it's come at a good time for Sheffield United to have this international break to get back on the training ground. But they can work in two ways, these international breaks. If the manager gives you 4 or 5 days off and you lose, well, fans will say they should have been in. So Sheffield United have had enough days now training, so looking forward to seeing what they can put on today.
I know Slav's been saying, let's see them get more nasty. I mean, I know everybody, all managers and all fans like to think about their home ground being something of a fortress, for want of a better word. But Slav's been saying it this week that he really wants to see the Blades making it that way, because 5 wins out of 17 matches is not what we'd hoped for.
No, of course not. It's not the start we wanted. Well, say start was 17 games in, of course. You know, we're over a third of the way through the season. So it's time for us to get going, isn't it? Yeah, I hate that word fortress. It's a real cliche because every team in the Football League says the same thing. But there is a special kind of intimidating atmosphere at Sheffield United, especially when the crowd get behind them. And I totally agree with Slav. I've read most of the things he's come out with and listened to a few interviews he's done this week. And we do need to get a bit nastier as a side. I think for all the great possession football we have and the creativity we have and the ability within our team, we have got a bit of a soft centre at the moment. And I think that was shown against Blackburn, where they were just cutting through us like a knife through butter, especially in the second half. We needed to shore up the whole team, really.
And they're under a bit of pressure today, Rob. You know, look at the league table doesn't lie. 11 points between the two teams. They're up challenging for promotion, and we're at the other end.
Yeah, it's going to be a big week for Sheffield United, isn't it? There's 9 points on offer in the week, so they can certainly turn it around within a short space of time. But I get where Slav's coming from, because in the past, and certainly when in my time here, I will class myself as horrible. You want to win, don't you? You're nasty. I get where he's coming from. Whatever I play, I want to win, and that's the sort of DNA that was input in me under Warnock.
So you'd want to see him get out there and be nasty boys?
I don't care how you win, but win. So and that's what I'm about.
Well, let's take a look at the guys who are coming back from international representation, who are going to be back here with the United squad this week, or one of them actually won't be. The goalkeeper, Olsen, he's been ruled out with an injury today, but the rest of them coming back in. I guess, again, Kevin, it can work both ways, can't it? You know, you can come back having worked with the international squad and be coming back sharp, or alternatively, you can have picked up some sort of little niggle and that becomes a problem.
Yeah, that can happen during training or in games or any time. So you have to deal with that as a professional footballer, and the manager will know that anyway. Yeah, I mean, they should come back flying with confidence. I mean, looked at those two there at the end, Brewster and Gibbs White. I mean, Brewster was captain of the England under-21s. I mean, that's quite an honour, isn't it? And he needs to come back absolutely flying from international breaks. Gibbs White we know all about anyway, because he's just proved himself as a quality player. And Egan and Stevens, they're seasoned international players now, so they know how to come back and look after themselves and be ready for the game. So I don't think it's going to affect too many of them players. And as I say, the international break shouldn't affect our team and our squad at all, really. We should be flying into this game this morning. Gareth Southgate clearly massively rates Brewster and sees him as very much a man for the future. And he got that great goal for us, didn't he, against Blackburn? But you know, we want to see him really start to produce the sort of wonderful skills that caught the eye when he came here originally. It'd be lovely to see him actually kick on and produce that sort of international style form for the Blades.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the consistency under Brewster, isn't he? Once he gains the confidence from this goal, he'll find himself unlucky today to be probably not part of the side, but that's what Brewster's about. Take this confidence on board and perform at Sheffield United.
Who do you see as the key figures who really need to bring United to another level, Kevin? Is it coming through one or two key individuals, or does it have to be a group mindset?
I can't really pick any one or two individuals out, as you just mentioned. I think it's a group mindset. I can totally get on board with what Cozzy's just said there about what happened under Warnock, and it's a group mentality, and whatever you do, you need to win. I was exactly the same in my time here with Dave Bassett, which says everything about the way we used to play, and I think that's been a running theme through Sheffield United for the past few seasons as well. Certainly under Chris Wilder, yes, we played some great football, but it was the mentality and the strength of the squad as a whole, that got us through games and when the going was tough. And I think we need to inject a bit of that into this team. I think we need to get a bit ugly and get a bit more we're all in it together type thing. And that connected, combined with the ability we know we have in this team and in this squad, and with the fans behind us, is quite a force to be reckoned with. If we can just get it going and get the ball rolling.
You mentioned there Warnock, Bassett, Wilder. I know they're different people, but in a sense there are similar character traits which flow through all three men.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they are quality managers, and they've got the set out the stall to be, and it's no different in the opposition today under Mark Robbins. He probably falls into that bracket for me of that sort of era and that sort of mentality. So they're up against a strong side today in Coventry, but Kev spoke about those givens before you even touch the ball, the work rate, the intensity, the passion from the crowd, because the crowd are always behind the side, and it needs to reflect onto the players to give what they've got.
And Slav's wanting to do that. He's going public saying that's what I'm trying to instill in the team. But it's coming to the time when you really do want to see them deliver.
I get where Slav's coming from, and it's okay saying it. It's actually delivering it, and how you're going to get it across to those players within the changing room and on the training ground, and before you come out, are you fired up? So he's saying the right things, but let's start seeing some of it. Right,
well, everybody I'm sure is waiting for team news. The team news broke just before we came on air, and this is the Sheffield United lineup this afternoon. What do you make of that one, Kevin? First of all, change of goalkeeper.
Yes, well, Olsen has some kind of muscle injury, so we're told. Even if he hadn't, I think you could make a case for maybe bringing Fotheringham back, because I don't think Olsen's been at his very best since he joined us. He was at fault, in my opinion, for a couple of the goals at Blackburn. So I don't mind that change at all. I think Fodderingham's done fine when he's came into the side. And the other change is, the interesting one is obviously Davis back in, and you immediately think that we're going to go with the 3 centre halves and the wing back formation, but we don't quite know where Chris Basham's going to play, because you could make a good case for playing Chris Basham in the centre of midfield to shore up that midfield area. Me and Cozzy just spoke about getting a bit more aggression, a bit more physicality in the team, and that is Chris Basham to a T.
Ben Davies, I guess nominally taking the place of Rhian Brewster, who's going to be disappointed after that wonderful goal against Blackburn to be on the bench, isn't he? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, Rhian Brewster would possibly think he should have been playing today, but I'm happy with what the side's put out there. Slav's going to go with that side, and I don't think many Sheffield United fans could say that it's not the right side, so let's hope it delivers.
One enforced change, Norwood out suspended, so Hourihane gets his opportunity, and Jai coming back for Osborne.
Yeah, a massive opportunity for Hourihane. I mean, the last home game, he was brought off after 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes in a change of formation. So that would be a big blow to his pride. Any professional footballer, getting dragged off in the first half, that's going to hurt. So it's up to him and Fleck, of course, to get hold of the ball in midfield and make us play. Because for all Norwood's supposed faults, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, he's the one person in the team that makes this team tick when we're playing well. So yeah, huge responsibility for Hourihane. And Jai and Gibbs White as well up front, floating about around Billy. They're the creative ones. They need to do their thing.
So both of you second guess Slav's mindset on this one. Would you anticipate that he is going to be bringing some sort of a formation change into this game and trying to hit Coventry in a way which maybe they hadn't prepared for?
I think we'll probably go with the 3 central defenders.
Yeah.
But the onus, especially at home, especially from Basham, is to be not see that as a defensive move. That's got to be in an attacking sense. We need Basham coming forward and working with Bogle on the right hand side. More than Davis on the left. He's not naturally inclined to bomb forward, but he needs to get forward and join in the play as well. So it's a tried and trusted formation if we go with the 3 centre halves. As I say, it might be that Basham slid into midfield. We'll just have to wait and see.
We're going to be hearing from Jaden Bogle a little bit later on, Rob. Do you think he's going to be a key figure this afternoon? Because he's got that pace, and if it all clicks for Bogle, you just sense that there's something special maybe out there.
Yeah, Bogle's an exciting player when he's in full flow. I mean, he certainly can get up and down the wing. He's got the engine, he's got the quality. We speak about the consistency that comes with Jaden Bogle. So he's been given a chance. You've got to do enough to keep the shirt and go for the next one.
And want to see goals in the back of the net.
Well, that's what we're here for. I mean, if you can set your stall out quite early against this Coventry side, and Gagey speaks about getting forward and putting the pressure on them, I think today should be a good day. Mark
Robins has been talking a little bit about the fact that a lot of his team coming to Bramall Lane for the first time, so maybe a big atmosphere is going to figure in how this match is going to turn out. We'll be talking more about that a little bit later on, but now let's just concentrate for now on the last outing for Sheffield United against Blackburn Rovers and look back at some of the highlights.
The Sky Bet Championship game between Blackburn Rovers and Sheffield United is underway. Here's Billy Sharp for United. Shot with a back post cross. What a finish! Rhian Brewster! His first league goal for Sheffield United, and what a strike! Sharp, the architect once again. His 8th assist in all competitions. Brewster with the finish. Wonderful start for the Blades. Blackburn 0, Sheffield United 1. Khadra, and still takes a deflection. I think it's gone in off John Egan, and Khadra has equalised for Blackburn Rovers. Very unfortunate how it deflected in. The Blades had been good value for the lead, but with 9 minutes to the break, it's Blackburn 1, Sheffield United 1. Work to the right hand side, look at the space here for Bogle. Jaden Bogle onto his left peg, Bogle! Stevens in a good position here for United. Stevens with a cross, might come out towards Rhian Brewster. What a lovely ball that is by Fleck. Billy Sharp! Denied by the legs of Kaminski. Good weight on the pass. Pervader's cross. That's a brilliant goal from a Blackburn Rovers perspective. And it's Brereton Diaz, the scorer. couldn't miss, could he really? We're approaching the hour mark. Blackburn 2, Sheffield United 1. Osborne overruns it, but it rebounds kindly for Stevens. Gibbs White, a low cross. Just over the bar. Berriton Diaz committing defenders. Low shot spilled by Olsen. Great feet on the rebound. That's a brilliant finish. But another mistake at the back by Sheffield United. Just over 20 minutes remaining. It's now Blackburn 3, Sheffield United 1. Gibbs White turns her in towards Lise Mousset. Can he finish? Saved, surely. Billy Sharp. Mousset's there. How's that stayed out? Gibbs White. Oh, that just sums it up. How on earth did that ball stay out of the Blackburn goal?
Another example maybe of things just not working out for the Blades. You know, just watching those highlights, Kevin and Rob, there were so many chances for United. I mean, the scoreline could have been the other way.
It could have been. It could have been 5 all that game. It was like a game of basketball in the second half. Where you have an attack, we'll have an attack. It was just non-stop. It really was. It's the story of our season at the moment. We are full of creativity and ability going forward, and we are creating chances left, right, and centre. But we're just not putting enough away. And at the other end, we're letting in making silly mistakes and letting in some sloppy goals. In the run-up, Rob, I mean, Brian and Kevin had been speaking in our pre-match programme about how, although you'd think that United on paper had every chance of winning the match, they were highlighting as well the ability of Blackburn Rovers as an attacking force to cut through, and that showed in the match.
Yeah, they've got the qualities, haven't they, Blackburn, and coming off that back of that 7-0 drubbing, you'd have thought Sheffield United on that day would have had enough to take some confidence into that. But you look at the game, and Sheffield United keep losing games, but there's positives to take with the chances, the creating things. If they were losing games and not, then it would be a different matter. So there's plenty of positives. Which
is the light at the end of the tunnel, I guess, Kevin. People will be saying, oh yeah, you say that week after week, and you know, Sheffield United creating chances, we want to put them away, and we're still playing okay. Have faith, guys, it's going to be all right. But really, they are still playing creative, imaginative, good-looking football and fashioning those chances. So surely, with that in mind, it is only a matter of time.
Well, yeah, I'm very conscious that I say similar things every week, and I'm looking at games through Sheffield United, you know, rose-tinted glasses. I don't know, but it is actually true. We are. If you look, I know stats, you can use them or throw them away whether you like them or not, but they're there. In the expected goals table, we're actually in the top 6. So that just says, you know, whether you think they're a load of rubbish or whether you go by them, that says that we are creating chances. You know, we should have scored more goals than we actually have. The other end is not quite so good, isn't it? But we have to keep believing what we're doing.
I tell you what, talking of scoring goals, it's worth just looking in a little bit more detail at that Rhian Brewster goal, because this was so good to watch.
Yeah, a long ball there actually. Is that Norwood just playing that ball into a space? And Billy Sharp's done obviously well to hold the challenge off, and a beautiful flighted ball from Billy. He's so good at that this season. But the good thing about that is yes, he's a great technique to finish, but Brewster's run sprinted 40 yards to get on the end of that. He's not just stood there and watching. He wanted to get in the box and get on the end of something. Yeah, and just talk about the technique there, Rob, because it would have been so easy for him to put it in row Z.
Yeah, you hear a lot about Brewster in training being this natural finisher, etc., and he strikes the ball absolutely clean. And on that occasion, he does just that. But what Gagey speaks about is it's like this is the championship, and Brewster offers pace, he offers that technical ability, but that was effort to get into the space to execute a fine finish, and that's what you need to see from Brewster.
Well, that was a shining light, a shining example of the talent that this lad does have, if it can just be harnessed on a consistent basis. Let's hear from Rhian and what he made of his performance and that match up at Blackburn.
Well, Rhian, many congratulations. How does it feel to have finally got that first league goal?
Yeah, it feels really good, you know, but I think obviously us not winning the game, you know, takes it away a bit, but I'm happy to score my first goal, like my first league goal for Sheffield United, and hopefully many more to come, and sorry, to hopefully win the game instead of losing.
We'll talk more about that in a second. How much does it feel as though a weight has been lifted off the shoulders? Because it wasn't just a goal, but the manner of it too as well, I'm sure, put a big smile on your face.
Yeah, of course, it's been a long time coming. I just keep trying to work hard and, in training, practice finishing, different types of finishing. So in the game, I obviously get one chance and hopefully score. And today, I think it was my first touch probably, and I put it in the back of the net. But, I think for me personally, I didn't really have a great game, to be honest. I scored and what else did I do, kind of thing. So, just hopefully, in games coming on, obviously, hopefully the gaffer still gives me a chance and, I can keep going and, like I said, score but win the game.
The narrative has been from him that he's essentially trying to change your role within the team. How do you find that development?
Yeah, of course, obviously I spoke to the gaffer and stuff and, of course I'm a striker, but he knows I can play in many positions, right, left, striker, 10. And of course whatever he asks me to do, I'm going to try to do to the best of my ability. And, obviously against Nottingham Forest I played right, and today I played like a bit like a second striker or off the striker kind of thing, with Sharpie. So whatever he's asking me to do, I'm just going to try to take on board in training and hopefully try and do it in the game.
There is such a desire in the United squad to see Rhian really perform to the height of his clearly considerable ability, and you can see from the reaction of his teammates when he gets the goal just how delighted they are to see him succeed, and they want to see more.
Yeah, they're pleased for him. And as Rob's just mentioned earlier, they see him in training every week. So we all know there's a player in there somewhere, whether it's a confidence thing, whether he needs a run of games, as everybody says. I'm not quite sure what the answer is, to be honest. But he's been here a while now. We're not talking about a few months. He's been here nearly a year or so now. So he needs to start nailing down his spot in the first team for starters, or finding a role for him, and then move on from there. He's got
a guy alongside him in Billy Sharp, who's been a goal scorer for so long, and he's got so much experience. I mean, he's got the ideal man, hasn't he, to instill that confidence and that maybe selfishness needed to actually become a consistent goal scorer.
Exactly that. I think Rhian Brewster speaks about 10 wide striker. He needs to master the one position and nail it down. But if you look at Sharpie at the side to learn off, there's nobody better. It's like having Mr. Miyagi at the side of you.
Does he need to be a bit more pig-headed?
No, I don't think so. I think Brewster goes about his business. He can see that Sharp's not. He's got that aura around. He's got a presence. But he'll work hard in training. Be unlucky not to be playing today, but he'll make some sort of impact in this game today.
And of course we've heard Billy speaking this week saying he wants a new contract, he wants to finish his days here, and I think the fans, I mean, I'm a fan, I'd love to see Billy finish his days here, and I'd like to see him at some stage on the coaching staff, and who knows, in the future he might have an even bigger role here at Bramall Lane. He's absolutely the backbone of this club, isn't he? Yeah, he epitomises everything what's good about Sheffield United, and he not only that, his actual play has been outstanding this season. It really has been superb. Not just the goals he's got, but his assists have been wonderful. Saw then against Blackburn, another one to add to the tally. But yeah, he is Mr. Sheffield United. I'm sure there's a role for him somewhere in the future. Absolutely. For a guy of 63, he can still really play, can't he? Sorry, Billy. Only joking. Now, we've got the team news, which has come in. We've got the Coventry City side as well now. And as we said earlier, they've been... well, a surprise package, if you like, of this year. They've had their bad results, like when they got hammered by Luton 5-0, but good results as well. Witnessed the 4-1 win over Fulham. And if you look at a team of overachievers, maybe, Kevin, this is possibly one of them. Yeah, they're the surprise team of the division so far this season, aren't they? We don't know too much about the players. We know one or two, of course. There's a couple who spring out, obviously. Simon Moore, we know all about, who did sterling service for us. But he's fitted in brilliantly to Coventry. They're raving about him, and he was always a decent keeper for us as well. McFadzean has been around, ex-Blade. He's been around for a few years now. He's 34 now, but obviously still doing a decent job at the back. I'm not going to try and pronounce his surname, but go on, try.
Victor, number 17, is the central striker who kind of everything comes off him. He's their main man with O'Hare flitting around him apparently.
Jokanović is the danger man. I'll have a go at pronouncing it. Viktor Jokanović. But he's got 9 goals to his name this season, but he's not scored 1 in 6. Now there's 2 ways of looking at that. Yeah. Either he's gone off the boil and we can relax a wee bit, or you could say he's due one, Rob.
Yeah, I think on a day like today, stats can go out the window because strikers can just be as prolific as on the day as they come. But these won't be names that roll off the tongue from the Coventry side. But they've got Dabo. You'll be impressed with him going down the right. You've got boys Aimer and that. They're lively. So Robbins has got some. He knows what he's going to get from his players, and they do deliver for him. You played under Mark Robbins at Barnsley, didn't you? I did, yeah. I mean, Mark Robbins is one of those managers that he gets you organised. His character he's so thorough on his instructions. You just know what you are and everything that comes with him. And I've got a lot of time for Mark Robbins. And he's inspired this Coventry team, hasn't he? Because I mean, they've been through their problems. They've been away from their ground. They've looked as though they've been on the edge of going out of business at one stage, and now they're up there challenging potentially for promotion. And it seems that the Coventry public have really latched onto it. Yeah, the Coventry public have. They've gone back to the not called the Rico now, but I've seen plenty of them at St Andrews. They still had the forces there, and they've come out of it in a better way. If you're just joining us, perhaps as well to just quickly check on the Sheffield United lineup again. 4 changes here, and possibly we think, Kevin, briefly that change of formation.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the first reaction is, we're playing Davies and Basham and then Stevens, and Ender Stevens. So we'll be 3 centre halves with John Egan in the middle. But I think it might be Basham into midfield. I wouldn't be surprised if Basham in midfield with Njayi coming back into the side, floating around Billy. And playing with the 2 wing-backs, one of whom would be Jaden Bogle. Jaden Bogle on the right-hand side, which perfectly suits his game. He is an attacking fullback. If he plays at fullback, he'll be looking to get forward. So wing-back is the perfect position for Jaden Bogle. Similarly, Ender Stevens getting a bit of stick Ender from the stand, from the fans, and I don't really know why, because I think he's been doing okay. He's looking good on the ball. So very, very important for them to, if they're playing as wing backs, to get forward and support the forwards. Well, just before we came on air, I had a chance to speak to Jaden Bogle and get his thoughts on the match. Jaden, after the time out with the international break, you must all be delighted to be back in action this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely. We're all looking forward to it. We've done some good work over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, we're looking forward to going into a competitive game and getting things going again. Tell us all a little bit about the work that you've been able to take on board over that couple of weeks. You know, there's the disappointment of the Blackburn game and the result up there. What sort of things have you been working on as a squad? Yeah, so it was a frustrating game in the last one, but we've tried to defensively put things right, be in a bit more of an organised shape with and without the ball, and then some finishing work as well, building up in and around the box and creating chances. So hopefully we can put all that together today and get a big 3 points. And how do you feel that your game is fitting in with everything that the squad's doing at the moment? Yeah, I think it's good. The way the manager wants to play, a lot of attacking work, and I enjoy that. And then defensively, being switched on throughout the whole 90 minutes, and defending the goal. So yeah, I'm enjoying working under him. I saw some quotes from the manager in the run-up to this, and he said he wants to see the team being nastier, being more ruthless. Is that something he's been conveying to you? Yeah, definitely. I think in both sides, when we're attacking, I think we need to be ruthless. If we score 1, try and score 2, 3, 4, and then defensively as well, being aggressive, whether that's 1v1, defending the box, and be horrible to play against. And I think we've got that in the team, so it's just about putting it into a game consistently, and then I think we'll be able to build up a run of games where we're picking up big points. It's going to be a big atmosphere at the Lane today. You know, I mean, they've sold out their allocation, the Coventry travelling support. So I guess with that in mind, a big onus on the Bramall Lane fans to make it a real sort of bear pit atmosphere for the visitors, many of whom will be here for the first time. Yeah, definitely. The fans are always behind us, and I think it really drives us along as well. There's times in the game where we need them a lot, and they're there. So yeah, it'll be a big atmosphere today, and hopefully we can give them the 3 points.
Some people will be saying they've overachieved, or they'll be saying that the Blades have underachieved. I guess everybody will be looking to put that balance back the other way around.
Yeah, we know what we need to do. We know what we need to focus on, and we know how big of a game it is, and the next 4 or 5 games coming up as well. So as long as we can focus on doing what we need to do today and pick up some points, hopefully 3, then yeah, it'll give us good momentum going into the next 4 or 5 games. Good luck, Jaden. Have a great game, and on behalf of all the United fans, get out there and do it. Cheers. Thank you. Bogle, and we can see there the ground now just beginning to fill up, and Rob, conditions today ideal. It's got all the makings, certainly so far as the conditions are concerned, of a very, very good amphitheatre and hopefully a very good game. Yeah, we were just looking out the window ourselves and saying the surface is absolutely pristine, the conditions and everything, and the crowd. You speak about 28,000 in there today. That's going to be a big factor, and get me on the side. And as a former fullback yourself, you know, I mean, there were 1 or 2 people who wondered whether Jaden Bogle was a great signing, whether or not he was going to be able to really do it. But now he's putting a run of games together. He's starting to show just what he's made of. Yeah, I really like some of Jaden Bogle's main strengths, but what happens is, and Robbins will recognise it today, is on transition. If Bogle's up and down the right, can he recover into an area where they're not going to get isolated and get it on the transition? But Bogle's got plenty to offer the side, and certainly get him the ball, get him down there. You can get him in some decent crossing positions, and the main man on the end of them. And let's see those chances converted. But you know, you want to see the defence just a little bit more niggardly than they have been against the Coventry City lineup, because they'll be coming here with a degree of confidence. So the United defence really does have to be having their wits about them, Kevin. Yeah, of course, but they should be doing that every game, shouldn't they? I mean, it goes without saying. The defenders have got to defend, and Bogle's part of that as well. It's going to be. I think it's going to be a bit of a strange atmosphere this afternoon, because I can sense a bit of apprehension, you know, around the club and around the fans, and maybe even around the team. So, especially given recent results haven't been good, especially, you know, the last 2 home games here. So I think people will be a little bit on edge, and I don't want the fans to turn. I want them to get behind the team and keep with it, keep the faith. I'd just like to mention one person who definitely will keep faith is the actual manager himself, because I did a bit of research, and in his promotion season with Fulham, after 17 games, Fulham were 17th with 20 points. Now we've played 17 games. We've got 19 points and we're 17th. I remember that year. So we got Fulham playing brilliantly. Anything can happen. We've already talked about this league, how it's concertinaed together, and I think we're only 7 or 8 points off the playoff spot, or sort of the top 6 or something. So you know, if we can start this ball rolling and get our act together and get some points on the table, and then go on a run, you know, we can get up there. It needs that run of results, doesn't it? You know, I mean, what a difference to the table 3 good wins could make. It really could. It could turn around very quickly. Yeah, certainly. I mean, you speak about the Coventry saying they're underachieving, but you won't hear that coming out of their camp. They'll just say they're going about their game just as much as everyone else, and they're collecting points. Where if Sheffield United can start collecting the points, and the players are saying exactly what the fans are saying, aren't they? They need to kickstart this season, and it starts today. John Fleck was a member of the Coventry City lineup in time gone by, and he still remains a very, very key factor for Sheffield United. Yeah, absolutely. We haven't seen the best of John Fleck this season. John Fleck's admitted that himself, and he's had a wonderful, I think 5 seasons is it now, since he joined. I mean, one of the best free transfers Sheffield United have ever probably done, I think. So he needs to get back to being the John Fleck of old, which is driving forward with the ball in those inside left channels and making things happen. He's not really one for collecting the ball off the defenders deep in our own half. He's not like a Norwood type player. He's better going forward and getting forward that way and making things happen that way. So we need him to get back to that. Well, let's take a look into our Sheffield United archives now and remember some of the matches from times gone by, and this time enjoying once more the 2 games that were the FA Cup quarter-final in 1998 against today's opponents Coventry City, and here now are those highlights.
3 against 1 there, and he is causing all sorts of confusion. Oh! Well, that was a late challenge, and there's no doubt about it, it's a penalty. Alan Kelly, the Irish goalkeeper. Oh, casual but beautifully placed. It's still very much in the balance, of course. Sheffield United giving a good count of themselves here at Highfield Road. Oh, off the post and in! 1-1. And is he excited? It finishes 1-1. They have to do it all again at Bramall Lane. Well, tremendous atmosphere here. A lot at stake, of course. The semi-finals of the FA Cup for the winners here tonight. Quickly taken. Oh, and it's there! What a shot from Telfer. Good job. Holdsworth! Oh, what a shot from Holdsworth! It's 1-1. They're going to sort it out by penalties. 1-1 after extra time. With the first kick. Oh, saved by Grizovic. Oh, great save by Kelly. It's still 0-0. Left footed, 1-0. Superb. Another left footer. Oh, brilliantly saved. Kelly, right footed. Oh, blazed it over the top. Still 1-0 in favour of Sheffield United against Kelly. Telfer, oh, Kelly got a touch to it but couldn't keep it out. Ford, beautifully placed. 2-1 to Sheffield United. Kelly, right footed, great save, his third of the night. The hero, but Wayne Quinn can clinch it, and he does. 3-1 Sheffield United, and they're into the semi-final of the FA Cup.
Great moment, wasn't it, Rob? Sheffield United on their way to the semi-finals. Some slightly iffy penalty taking, though.
No, I mean, looking at that, it's great to look back at them sort of games into it. And I was actually born in the same hospital as Steve Grizovic, so the hospital was churning players out.
I'm sure he talks about that as well.
I think he does. I think he remembers it.
You talked a little bit about the conditions here earlier on, both of you. I mean, just looking at that, it's just over 20 years ago, and the pitch was totally different to that we see out here now. You know, the technology has just moved on amazingly.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. I mean, me and Cozzy would have loved to play every week on pitches like this, honestly. It was something, especially Bramall Lane, sometimes in the winter, they used to throw tons and tons of sand on it, which deadened all the bounces and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a completely different game. It really kind of is.
I remember coming down here and watching, I don't know, 30, 40 years ago, and some of the mud in the middle of the goal had to be seen to be believed. And I mean, young people watching this now perhaps have never seen, I suppose you will if you've watched on YouTube, some of the old pitches that the guys had to play on. But you talk about it was a bit you'd have loved to have played on it, but I'm sure the goalkeepers as well are pretty relieved to be playing on this rather than what they had to contend with.
They're completely spoilt footballers today, honestly. If you took some of those players and showed them the pitches we had to contend with, they'd just go, no, I'm not playing on that, forget it.
I think, you tell me, what was the worst one that you ever played on, Rob? Because, I mean, I remember the baseball ground. My God, that was a shocker.
Yeah, I played a few times on the baseball ground in my time, but I'd say it was up there. But anywhere after Christmas was just as bad, because you used to think pre-season, wow, there's some grass on this, but and then it just went.
But now, even though the old playing days are a year or two behind you, Kevin, when you look out there must be just a little bit inside you thinking, God, I could get out there and do it. I could still get out and play a bit.
No. No, I'm way beyond that. Way beyond that. I'm quite happy sat here.
But it's lovely to see, and we're looking forward, of course, and not too far away now, only 20 minutes or so away from our match, Sheffield United against Coventry, and coming up as well on Tuesday night, Reading, the visitors to Sheffield United, And Paul Walker, Chris Morgan and Kevin will be looking forward to that one here at Bramall Lane on Tuesday. And next Sunday, another 12:30 kick-off to look forward to there. Ashley Wilmot, Carl Asaba and Kevin again, our ever-present analyst. Bristol City coming as the visitors there. And wouldn't it be lovely at the end of those 3 matches to be able to say, yep, that's the 9 points, and now we're really starting to perhaps at last kickstart the season?
Well, I think, and I'm not even exaggerating now, I think these next 3 games define our season from this moment on. I think 6, 7, 9 points, obviously, you know, top 6 is eminently doable. I think anything less than that, I think we're kind of looking at mid-table, something like that, or you know, even lower perhaps. I think we can't wait any longer. We can't wait. That run I just talked about, the Fulham side, that was an exceptional run. They changed a -1 goal difference to a +33 goal difference. I think only lost 2 games in the rest of the season. So that's exceptional. We have to get something, get 6, 7, 9 points out of these next 3 games, and then continue in that vein of form really.
The change in that Fulham side in their promotion season was incredible, Rob. I mean, I've got a mate who's a big Fulham fan, and he used to bore me ad nauseum about the way they were playing. But they really did start to produce some very good-looking, attractive football, which ultimately nailed the place in the Premiership.
Yes, certainly. I mean, they've been. I went to obviously saw them that season, and you have to come away from watching the game saying, yeah, they were a force to be reckoned with. But Gagey says we sit here as Sheffield United fans. Yeah, you take 7 points looking at the next few games, but it's today. Is the hurdle in our way? Reading have the problems, don't they, with the -6 and that? So all teams have their own problems to deal with, and Sheffield United today have got to get over Coventry.
Derby County losing more points as well. I mean, that's actually taken the horrible shadow of relegation away slightly for everybody down in our part of the table, because you know it would be astonishing if Derby County got out of it now.
Yeah, I tend not to look down from our position in the table. I'm not remotely concerned about getting dragged into relegation. I don't think that's even an issue. I'm constantly looking up, thinking how can we get up there? And as I say, the next 3 games you've got to be. Again, it's another cliche, but we have to be beating the likes of Bristol City and Coventry here at Bramall Lane if we're going to harbour any kind of thoughts of getting into the top 6. I think the top 2 are away now. We can't get automatic promotion, but we're certainly good enough for one of those top 6 spots.
But our game against Bournemouth, I think that was probably the last time I was presenting down here at Bramall Lane. I mean, they were so unlucky, United, to lose that match. They could easily have taken 3 points from that game, never mind losing.
Well, as I said earlier, that's the story of our season. I mean, in times against Blackpool, we played some of the best football I've seen for years down here in patches. The creativity and the chances we created were off the scale. So we have it in us. We played Forest the other week at Forest, let a late goal in, and apparently the Forest players are saying we're the best side they've played this season. That's a constant theme. We always seem to do very, very well, but we're not getting the results. That's got to change.
We've produced some spectacular goals, I think most notably this one by Lys Mousset. It's been selected for the 3-man shortlist for his first goal of the season. It came in United's home win against Stoke City on the 16th of October. Voting is open on the EFL's official Twitter accounts and closes on Monday the 22nd of November, and all winners will be announced on Friday the 26th of November. And this really was an example of just the sort of football that United can put together. It was beautifully crafted.
Yeah, it's the intensity and the eye impact that the Sheffield United attack with, and they're going to score goals like that. So hopefully we can see some of that today.
Well, let's see the United fans support it, and let's see if we can get that brilliant goal as perhaps one of the goals of the season. It certainly looked pretty good from where I was sitting. Well, time for something just a little bit more light-hearted now. A lot of you, I'm sure, love your games of Top Trumps, and today it's time for Sheffield United Top Trumps with John Egan and Rhian Brewster.
86 pace.
69. Who's that? Antoine.
Antoine, bro. 86 pace. 88 pace.
What? Who?
There's only one person in the team that is. 88 pace.
Oh, Berkey. Yeah.
To be fair, I could go pace again.
Could you?
I'm gonna go again pace.
Yeah. Oh, you beat me.
Yeah.
51.
Yeah.
What's that?
I got Moose.
Is it?
79. Yeah.
Who?
Moose.
Oh, Moose.
Yeah. 79 pace.
Moose should be higher than that.
That's what I mean. It should be 80s at
Should
least.
be 85.
Alright. I'm going.
Pace again?
No, I'm going physical.
Oh, 68.
77.
Is it?
You big man.
I'll give you that one.
Oh, Bogs.
I'm happy to lose that one.
Right, let's go defending.
Defending.
I mean, no, dribbling.
Dribbling. Yeah, I'd actually take dribbling here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got 72 dribbling.
73.
Oh,
yeah. Who's that? Yeah. 72. Take that.
Yeah.
So Bosch, my turn. Win some cards back. I'm going physical with this guy.
Go on, then.
I'm going physical 80.
Shit.
Is it?
To be fair, 79. It's
Actually,
only one
oh
off,
my
you know?
god.
It's
2
only
Pistons.
one off. Yeah.
What do I go with here?
Our top trumps experts sitting alongside me, Rob Kozluk and Kevin Gage. What did you make of that, boys? Talk me through it.
Fabulous, top trumps. That needs to come back as a proper game this Christmas, I think. I don't think it ever went away, actually, but I think there's too many electronic and battery-driven games these days. I think we should go back to old school card games and Subbuteo and things like that.
Oh, Subbuteo, now you're talking about. My kids are always tied to their computer screens. They don't know about painting stands and painting players, do they, Rob?
Not on the Subbuteo, and top trumps, like you say, we will play any game at home, but it always ends up cheating. So if you was to say passing 65, I've got 66 and I'll take it off you, but it turns into a fight.
Surely you wouldn't cheat against your own kids.
That's what Slav's on about, yeah. I want to win, so I cheat at top trump.
Was that an age category you were talking about?
Yeah, Gage 58.
Right, well I think it's probably time, having delved into the ways in which you spend your free time and how much you cheat at Christmas, let's look at an SUTV exclusive interview. And it's time now, I think, to hear from the United captain, Billy Sharp.
Yeah, fine. Just getting the training in until the lads who have been away on the international. You know, we've got, I think it's 7 or 8 players who have been away, so yeah, it's difficult to work on things for the game going forward, but obviously we've got everyone back now and got a couple of days to prepare for Coventry on Saturday, so hopefully we can put, you know, the disappointment of Blackburn behind us.
Has it come a good time, maybe a chance to take a step back, take stock, and not knowing that there's going to be a break coming up now, you can fully focus on the next few months?
Yeah, personally I'm delighted about no breaks coming up till March now, because we have had 3 in 4 months, so it's been stop-start, and that's our season really. We've took a step forward and then took 2 steps back, which we had a very disappointing result against Blackburn, and after starting so well, so we need to make sure that we do well in the next week coming up with the 3 games that we've got to put that behind us.
Getting on that run, maybe 2, 3, 4 wins, that's the key, isn't it? And the table can change very quickly if you can put a mini run together. Yeah,
we've been saying that for a few games now, which obviously we need to put that right, because yeah, if you want to be in the hunt for promotion, you've got to go on runs of 2, 3 and 4 games, winning streaks, and we haven't managed to do that this season. We've put in some decent performances in some games, but even them games we've scored, I don't know, what is it, 6, but conceded 2, so we need to make sure we tighten up in our box, and we need to make sure we're firing in the opposition box, because at the minute we're not quite doing it at either end, and we need to roll our sleeves up, stick together, up our personal games individually, and then collectively it should come together, so hopefully we can do that in the next few games.
I know from a team perspective it's been frustrating, but from a personal view, how pleased have you been with your own form after another assist against Blackburn recently?
Yeah, I was happy with my form start of the season. I've got more assists than goals, which I'm not happy about, but yeah, as long as I'm contributing for the team, I'm happy, but I want more goals. Should have had more goals on my tally at the minute, but and that's what I'm in the team for, to score goals and to win as matches. So personally I want more goals, but yeah, the assists have been good as well, and like I say, as long as I'm contributing, and to be fair, if the team's winning, I'm not bothered, as long as, you know, we're winning, and I'll be happy, but that's not happening in the minute, so I need to up my game personally. Everybody does, and collectively we need to obviously stick together, because we can't do anything without each other, so we need to stick together and be positive, be brave, and start turning this season around and getting some wins.
And speaking of goals, we've got Coventry next, and you've got a pretty good record for Sheffield United against Coventry, I think going back to 2008.
Yeah, I remember that goal against them. I think my shirt come off. I think that was my first home goal, so I've had good memories of that, and obviously away at Coventry as well, on the night where it got stopped a few times and we had to go off the pitch, but yeah, hopefully a few more goals, but more importantly the 3 points to give our fans something to shout about, for us to try and get a run going.
Billy Sharp nearly breaking his toe in that volley aimed at the advertising board, but he's underlines how long he's been around, but also his words there, it echoed what you were saying, Kevin. It said, you know, that it's been so much of a stop-start season so far.
It has, yeah. I mean, he says all the right things there. I think he's been a bit harsh on himself when he's talking about upping his game, etc. Because he's been absolutely outstanding this season. The way he's led the line. Is assists as well that he talks about. I mean, the technique involved to clip the ball, you know, from the byline for Brewster as well on Saturday. But previous to that, left-footed little clipped crosses that have resulted in chances and goals for us is outstanding. It really is. He's always been a talisman for us, but this season he has really led the line superbly well. I thought at the start of the season, we kind of write him off every season, don't we? We think he's too old, he's this, he's that. But at the start of the season, I had him down as maybe an impact sub and to come in when somebody might have been suspended or whatever. But he's fully deserved his starting place in most weeks. He's proved a few people wrong, hasn't he, Rob? I mean, he still looks the class act in the United team, consistently.
I like the way Sharpie speaks there. He's because his standards are so high, he's disappointed when he doesn't deliver. So hopefully the voice within the changing room can reflect on if he's disappointed in his performances, and Gagey speaks how highly he's rated him this season. It'll rub off on a few others to say, I need to step up.
Well, let's hope he has one of his good games this afternoon. We're going to say goodbye to Kevin for the time being. He's going off to join Matt for this afternoon's match commentary. But now with kickoff now getting very, very close, an appropriate time to hear the pre-match thoughts of Slaviša Jokanović.
I don't expect a lot of the changes. I didn't know so much before the start of the championship about them, but they play really organized and they are a strong team. They have some patterns really clear how they want to play. Some really good, strong players, and they definitely these few games what I watched them, they deserve be in this level where they are actually right now.
In terms of the home form recently, 2 defeats in a row at home, how important is it that you put that right, particularly for the fans?
It's for the fans and for us too. It's simple. We didn't mark our territory, and in Bramall, this is hard stadium for all the opponents. But at the moment, we didn't put the opposite team in this level of the trouble and in this level of the press for force win the game with enough quality. It's of course it's a lot of the push for the stand. For another side, in our side, is encourage the people for push us still stronger. We didn't do this job acceptably good at the moment, but this next chance is ahead of us. I trust we can change our level and mark the territory and put the people under more pressure in front of our supporters and especially front of ourselves.
Just over 5 minutes away from kick-off there, and Slav there, you sense that he's still looking for that precious spark that's really going to ignite something special over the next 2-3 games.
Yeah, I would say preparation for this game's gone as good as it's can in there. I mean, if you've watched the warm-up out the window, the intensity and everything he speaks about in the interview there that he wants to put in the side is now done.
You want to see one of those golden performances this afternoon, don't you? You want to see something really special from somewhere. It needs to be something which is going to inspire this crowd, because it's starting to fill up now. There's going to be a really hot atmosphere when things get going, but they need to be inspired.
Yeah, it's always great when a team come with the support that the away fans are going to bring, because it starts sparking the home fans into something that needs to be there. And once the fans are massive today, but like you say, Sheffield United should beat Coventry.
Now, like it or not, we all of us keep an eye on social media. I wasn't going to mention this, but I will mention it because I'm sure the United players will be aware of it. Don Goodman, who's a high-profile commentator who's been speaking about United, he said that some of the United players and performances, in his opinion, have been a disgrace. Now, is that going to really hit home to the United players and the team to sort of say, right, we're going to show you and we're going to shove that right back down you?
I don't think Sheffield United players need to worry what Don Goodman's saying. Had it come from like a Sheffield United legend, then they might have be able to listen to it. But Don Goodman's not associated with Sheffield United, so his opinions are what they are.
It's just an opinion. Everybody has one, as they say, and some are more valid than others, and they're not going to be too excited and dismayed by that one.
Certainly, you're spot on there, John.
So, are we going to see United win finally? Do you think that this is going to be the afternoon?
Waking up this morning, I always felt positive that the day was going to belong to Sheffield United, and I can't see it going any other way.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope this is going to be a big Blades afternoon, and a reminder of the broadcasting regulations for this match. Remember, go to SUTV to find out exactly what you can see and what you can't see regarding our matches this season. But for this one, that's our preview, just about done now. So time to head over to our commentators for this afternoon's match, Kevin Gage, and of course, as ever, first of all, the voice of Matt Young.